Standing in a secluded area, Prince Arnold tracks a creature preparing to begin his hunt. His quiet moment is interrupted when his butler, Sebas, materializes nearby and requests that the prince return to the castle immediately. He delivers grave news. General Dominic has perished. When Arnold asks if the general was assassinated, Sebas admits details are scarce, but doubts anyone will make a serious effort to find the killer. Arnold decides to quickly complete his guild request before making his return. Sebas questions why Arnold remains in his current disguise when there is no one else around to see him. Arnold explains that he cannot risk anyone discovering that a prince is pretending to be a common adventurer. Sebas begs him to refrain from such risky behavior, but Arnold notes that everyone calls him the insipid prince anyway, because his talented younger brother inherited all of their family's gifts. He insists that right now, he is Silver, one of the legendary SS-class adventurers. At the capital branch of the Adventurers Guild, the surrounding crowd gasps in awe when Silver presents a massive King Minotaur horn, amazed that he harvested it entirely on his own. The receptionist praises his incredible work and hands over the hefty bounty. Slipping into a quiet alleyway, Arnold sheds his magical disguise and remarks that it is time for the dull prince to resume his activities. Later, Arnold meets with his younger twin brother, Leonard. Arnold notes that he heard their old supporter is dead, and Leonard admits the general was targeted because of his loyalty to their faction. Arnold commends his brother's ability to win allies and speculates if the hit was ordered by their siblings. Leonard admits he has no idea. When Arnold asks what he plans to do, Leonard confesses he has no desire to fight within their own family. Arnold warns him that if he refuses to join the struggle for the throne, only death awaits them and their mother. He urges Leonard to make a firm choice. Leonard finally resolves to fight, and Arnold happily promises to cooperate. Leonard asks what Arnold plans to do next. Arnold explains he will search for allies, though he warns his brother not to expect too much since almost all powerful nobles are already aligned with the top 3 factions. Leonard thanks him, admitting he believes Arnold is better suited to be the emperor. Arnold laughs off the suggestion, stating he intends to live a comfortable life of leisure with a beautiful wife. He insists he needs Leonard to secure the crown to make his dream possible. Later, Sebas asks Arnold why he refuses to simply reveal his identity as Silver to help Leonard's cause. Arnold declines, explaining that ancient magic has been a royal taboo for a long time. Because Arnold utilizes that forbidden magic, any public connection to Silver would ruin Leonard's campaign. Then, Arnold asks if any powerful duke families remain unaligned in the throne war. Sebas identifies the Kleinert household as the sole neutral faction. Arnold notes that such a prominent family must have a compelling reason to stay silent. Sebas explains that their territory is currently being plagued by monsters that they cannot find a way to defeat. Arnold proposes a plan. They can claim Leonard dispatch Silver to solve their crisis, putting the Duke's family in their debt. Sebas warns that Duke Kleinert might become suspicious of Leonard's immense influence if he can mobilize an SS-class adventurer. Arnold remains unfazed, arguing that making their enemies wary is a positive outcome. He decides to visit the Duke under his Silver persona to initiate the plan. Sebas warns him about the Duke's famously beautiful daughter, urging him not to be swayed by her charms. Arnold teleports directly to the Kleinert mansion gates as Silver and requests an audience with the Duke. The guard at the entrance scoffs, refusing to believe he is the legendary Silver and dismissing him as a prankster. He refuses to even check his adventurer card, ordering him to leave. Before departing, Silver catches a glimpse of a beautiful young woman looking out from a window, but tells himself he has no time to admire her beauty. Silver returns to Sebas, who is surprised by his fast return. Arnold announces they are heading to the Kleinert territory immediately. Sebas asks why, and Arnold explains that while Silver was just turned away, this time Prince Arnold will make an official visit, leaving the Duke no choice but to beg Leonard for help. 5 days later, Prince Arnold arrives at the Kleinert estate. The Duke asks what brings the prince to his domain. Arnold states he is there to discuss compensation. He explains that while Leonard did not want things to go this way, the Duke must assist Leonard if he has any gratitude. The Duke questions what gratitude he owes. Arnold accuses him of playing dumb, pointing out that Leonard offered a massive favor by deploying the SS-class adventurer Silver to help them with their monster problem. The Duke is stunned to hear the name Silver. Arnold explains that Leonard arranged for Silver's help, even utilizing lost teleportation magic. Sebas steps in, suggesting that the Duke seems truly unaware of these events and needs time to investigate. Arnold agrees to grant him a temporary reprieve. Sometime after the Duke leaves, they hear him shouting furiously outside, berating his foolish son for nearly destroying their family. The Duke enters the room with his son and apologizes. He explains that Silver did indeed arrive 5 days ago, but his idiot son turned him away. The son defensively argues that nobody expects an SS-class adventurer to show up unannounced and claims he thought Silver was an imposter. The Duke angrily silences him, pointing out that he should have verified Silver's adventurer card. Arnold coldly tells the Duke that a child's failure reflects on the parent. Desperate, the Duke offers his own life as an apology. Arnold rejects his head as well as his son's, and Sebas suggests they must offer something else of equal value. As Arnold ponders what could satisfy both families, the Duke's daughter, Fine, enters the room. She offers herself to the prince to save her father and brother. The Duke protests, but Fine explains she saw Silver that day and feels equally responsible. Sebas suggests dealing with the matter quietly, pointing out that Silver is a loyal man who will not abandon an accepted quest. Ultimately, Arnold agrees to talk to Silver if the Duke's family can find him. In an elaborate trick, Arnold uses illusion magic to project a false image of Silver in the room alongside his real self. Arnold pretends to speak with Silver, expressing surprise that the adventurer is still in the domain. The illusion of Silver mocks Arnold as an insipid prince who is a far cry from his talented brother. Fine introduces herself and apologizes deeply for her family's insolence. Silver tells her that apologies are unnecessary, but notes that the Kleinert family's stellar reputation seems exaggerated if they turn away travelers while suffering from monsters. Fine humbly accepts the criticism. Arnold asks if Silver will resume the quest. Silver says he will only do so if the Duke's family promises their full support to Prince Leonard. Fine gratefully promises they will not let him down. After the meeting, Arnold rides in a carriage with Fine. Fine thanks Arnold for bowing his head to Silver for the sake of her family's subjects, admitting she previously misunderstood him as a terrifying person. Arnold insists he only did it for his own benefit. Fine smiles, saying she will happily keep her positive misunderstanding of him. Later, they arrive at the monster site. Sebas notes that a party of high-class adventurers already failed to clear the multiplying slimes. Arnold explains that while individual slimes are weak, the mother slime will keep producing them until he destroys the source. They meet the adventurers, led by an A-class leader named Abel. Silver asks if they can handle the situation. The party members admit the mother slime has grown too large and they lack the firepower to deliver a fatal blow. Silver offers to report to the guild for an emergency quest if they insist on keeping him out, but urges them to let him handle it. Abel reluctantly yields, and Silver praises their brave defense efforts. Silver then chants an ancient spell, unleashing a massive attack called Execution Prominence. The spell vaporizes all the slimes and the mother slime in an instant. Abel is amazed and calls him a hero, but Silver dismisses the title and asks Abel to file the report before leaving. Arnold teleports back to his private room in the estate, which is marked with a sign telling others to keep out. He removes his silver mask, only to turn around and find Fine standing in the room. She looks at him in utter shock, uttering his name in disbelief. Trying to salvage the situation, Arnold asks why she entered his room in the first place. Fine explains that she brought some snacks for him, and since he was not there, she simply intended to leave them on his desk. Recognizing the danger of his situation, Arnold tells her that now that she knows his secret, he cannot allow her to leave. Fine promises that she will not tell a soul that the legendary adventurer Silver is actually Prince Arnold. Arnold questions if she is worried that he might do something to her, such as silencing her by force. Fine smiles and says he would never do such a thing, adding that even if he did, it would only be out of necessity, so she would willingly accept it. Bewildered, Arnold admits he does not remember winning her trust to such an extreme extent. Fine asks if his return means he already defeated the troublesome monsters, calling him a true hero who saved their domain. She has pieced together the clues from his earlier conversation with Silver and realizes he has been putting on an elaborate act all this time, even letting people call him the insipid prince just to support Prince Leonard. This selflessness is why she trusts him, believing he must be a kind person at heart. Arnold sighs, lamenting that after keeping his identity hidden for so long, he was finally exposed. To cheer him up, Fine nervously offers him the sweets she brought and promises to brew some tea. That night, Duke Kleinert thanks Arnold deeply, but Arnold tells him to thank Leonard instead, as his brother was the one who wanted both him and Silver to help. The Duke pledges that the Kleinert household will support Prince Leonard's bid for the throne in return for his life-saving help. Arnold notes that with this alliance, Leonard has established himself as the fourth major force in the Empire, alongside his sister and two older brothers. The Duke asks if they are short on trustworthy men, and Arnold admits they do not have nearly enough people since many powerful nobles are still staying on the sidelines. The Duke smiles in relief and reveals he has someone in mind. his daughter. He explains that he was shocked when Finna approached him yesterday, insisting on going with Arnold to repay their family debt. The following morning, Finna bids farewell to her father and brother, promising to do good things and take care of herself. Soon, Finn and Arnold are riding in a carriage together. Finn admits she is still inexperienced, but looks forward to working for him. Arnold warns her that the historical struggle for the imperial throne has caused endless bloodshed, telling her that this is her last chance to back out. Finny insists she understands the risks, but truly wants to be of use to him. 5 days later, Leonard meets with Arnold. Leonard admits he knew Arnold was well connected, but had no idea he was close with an SS-class adventurer like Silver. Arnold apologizes for acting without his prior approval, but Leonard reassures him it is fine since Arnold clearly knew what he was doing. Arnold explains that Silver fulfilled his promise, making him worthy of some trust, though they must remain cautious since they still do not know his true motives. Leonard agrees, though he happily notes that the Duke is now on their side because of Silver's actions, proving the adventurer is a good person. When Leonard asks about the representative sent by the Kleinert family, Finna enters the room and introduces herself, expressing her excitement to be of service. Leonard welcomes her and says he is relieved to see she is just as gentle as Arnold described. When Leonard asks how they should utilize Finn's help, Arnold suggests placing her in a negotiating role. He plans to have her visit their estate frequently, so the public realizes the prestigious Kleinert family has officially aligned with Leonard. Finny eagerly promises to do her best, but confesses she is unfamiliar with the inner workings of the palace and asks for more details about their 3 rivals. Arnold obliges, outlining the 3 contenders for the throne. First is the 28-year-old second Prince Eric, a brilliant strategist who controls the empire's bureaucracy. Next is third Prince Gordon, 26, who commands the strongest military faction and personally leads troops on the battlefield. Finally, there is 22-year-old second Princess Xandra, a prodigy whose extraordinary magical gifts have made her beloved by mages across the empire. Leonard explains that the fight began 3 years ago, and Arnold quietly adds that it started ever since their eldest brother, Wilhelm, tragically died in battle. Then, a maid enters the room and hands Leonard a note. Reading it, Leonard reveals that Duke Zyfrit has aligned with Princess Xandra, while Duke Paulman has backed Prince Gordon. Arnold guesses they were bought out with massive sums of money, and Leonard confirms they are backed by powerful merchant groups, making it impossible for their faction to compete financially. Arnold admits they are far behind, but Leonard remains positive, pointing out they have successfully gained the prestigious Kleinert family and the famous Lady Finn. 2 days later, Finny approaches Arnold and asks him to show her around the royal capital. Arnold hesitates, pointing out that her famous face will draw unwanted attention. Finn proudly reveals a simple disguise. Arnold admits the disguise will keep her from being noticed, but suspiciously asks whose idea it was. Finn reveals that Sebas suggested it. Arnold looks around in annoyance, wondering why Sebas is conveniently absent when he needs him. Giving in, he agrees to take her, but warns that they will return the moment he decides it is time to go home. Finn happily agrees and thanks him. Out in the busy streets, Finn marvels at the sights and points to a shop, asking what it is. Arnold explains that they appraise weapons and magical equipment to help adventurers sell their gear for higher prices. They continue their walk, and Arnold points out a tall structure used as a training ground for the Imperial soldiers. Later, they sit down to eat some simple sandwiches. Arnold asks if such cheap food is even appetizing to a high-born noble like her, but Finny assures him it is delicious. Arnold smiles, mentioning that he used to sneak out of the palace to play with the local city children. Finn expresses her envy, admitting she had very few childhood friends. Arnold reassures her that she will make plenty of friends from now on, explaining that the world is full of both good and bad people, and she just needs to find the ones she can truly trust. He tells her that time does not matter when it comes to true friendship. Deeply moved, Finna says she will take his advice to heart. Suddenly, a group of playing children accidentally hits Finna with a water balloon. The children quickly apologize, and a soaking wet Finna assures them it is fine. Arnold then notices that the water has made her blouse translucent, revealing her bra. To save her from embarrassment, Arnold quickly takes her to a nearby clothing shop. Inside, a flustered Finn asks what she should change into, telling him to pick whatever he likes. Arnold points out a lovely dress on display, and Finna happily tries it on. When she steps out, Arnold compliments her new look. The shop owner smiles and tells the young couple to enjoy the rest of their date. Finna blushes at the word date, while Arnold quickly explains he is merely showing her around the capital and tells the owner not to get the wrong idea. The owner chuckles, stating that whenever two young people go out together like this, it is a date, regardless of the purpose. After visiting the rest of the interesting spots in the city, Arnold decides it is time to head home. Finn agrees but begs to stop by a local bakery first. Arnold tells her not to be too long. While he waits, a noble named Guido approaches him. Guido sneers at Arnold, calling him the insipid prince and mocking his shabby face. Arnold calmly greets him, but Guido takes offense to his relaxed attitude, threatening to strike him and claiming no one would care because Arnold lacks the dignity of royalty. Arnold points out that Leonard has become quite famous lately, making Arnold more recognizable as his twin, but Guido yells that Arnold is not Leonard and does not possess the demeanor of the royal family. Finne suddenly arrives and angrily demands to know what is going on, scolding Guido for his insolence. Guido scoffs and asks if she is Arnold's servant. Finne then removes her disguise, revealing her identity. Guido is instantly stunned. Finne questions his lack of loyalty to the royal family and asks if he truly thinks she would walk alongside someone like Prince Arnold. Catching her clever cue, Arnold quickly fixes his hair and alters his posture to perfectly mimic his twin brother. He tells Guido that he was only pretending to be his inept brother because she wanted to avoid public rumors. Guido stammers an excuse, but Arnold calmly tells him he is well aware of how Guido treats his brother. He promises not to take action unless his brother demands it, but sternly orders Guido to leave. Guido quickly flees with his entourage. Once they are alone, Arnold tells Finne that she botched her attempt to help. Arnold explains that Guido's reputation would have simply suffered if she had let him talk, but now Guido will harbor animosity toward her. Furthermore, the rumor that Leonard disguises himself as Arnold will make it harder for Arnold to operate undercover in the future. Seeing her sadness, Arnold softens and thanks her, acknowledging that she only did it to protect him. Finn smiles, promising to be much more careful next time. Arnold is surprised she expects a next time, and Finne asks if he will show her around the capital again. Arnold agrees, promising to wear a proper disguise next time. A few days later, Leonard and Arnold walk through the castle corridors. Arnold points out that all the imperial siblings currently in the capital have been called, a rare event that only happens once a year at most. He guesses their father has something major to report. Leonard hopes it is good news, but a pessimistic Arnold doubts it will be anything positive, wondering what lies ahead as they prepare to enter the meeting chamber.